and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
6-man. Check girls, check girls, check girls.
A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That's what I do.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
It'll
give it here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
55. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Throw it back. 56 is Mike. 56 is the mic. I got it.
Now Rodgers. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Check, 55.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Shift.
26.
To throw is Rodgers. And this is incomplete. Now the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. I don't think that was a blitz, was it?
No, not at all. I mean, there was no blitz called on the play, had other responsibilities, but he saw an opportunity, saw a path, and he took it.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
To throw on second is Watson. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. Call it a pickup of 7. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Go. Go.
From the gun, here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack. Come on, go.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Watson completes this one to Meredith. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down.
It's just me and you.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's fourth down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Brian Anger now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taken in at the 11. Not a big deal on that one. Just your everyday 67-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10.
258.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Shoves him away. No gain on the play there. Second down. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Watch the slant.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
56 to Mike.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And a little floater there is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Rodgers going to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And the Ravens taking the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, Watson. And finding the tight end Hooper. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. On second down now, it's Cook. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Watson. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Derek Watt, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37.
Running on first down, Eckler. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 41, Rodgers. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
First down carry for Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7. At the Ravens' 13-yard line.
Don't get nervous.
A A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Derrick Henry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Give to Cook out of the gun. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, Haywood!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Returnable for Lockett. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They fell last week to Cleveland, but they're on top here as they start this drive 1st and 10. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down, Watson. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Watson now to throw. It's caught. Lockett. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's got Lockett. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Watson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To the air yet again, Watson. It's complete to Lockett. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. To throw again on 2nd down, Watson. Left side complete to Lockett. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. Bailey's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 24-10 was your final. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. The Broncos seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Andy Isabella, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
26.
Watch Mike. Hey, defense.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So they had the big loss on that first down. Long. Derrick Henry. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. On first down, Watson. That escapes the sack. They shakes him off. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Cook following the penalty. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's complete to Meredith. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Well, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On the carry, it's Cook. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Switch.
They'll run on first down. Swift. Oh, and they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Eckler. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. On the counter, it's Henry. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the 1st down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Back now in Jacksonville. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Back now in Jacksonville. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Slot, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cleveland Farrell able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and drop. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll toss it to Henry. Open space inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Derrick Henry with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
and that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. Watson on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Let's go, baby.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And he's going to be taken down, back around the 35-yard line. Christian Wilkins in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, Watson. And this is Cook with a grab. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's make these babies cry.
Hey, take 26.
Let's make these babies cry.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
To throw on 3rd down, Rodgers. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 36. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
The 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I
think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. They run the counter. Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Back at the 13-yard line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Who that?
They'll try to pick up the 1st with Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run. It's Henry. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down by 4, 1:51 on the clock. And the 4th down stop gives them a new lifeline, at least for the moment. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Watson now to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Back to throw.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Now Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to be brought. Down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Watson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win. Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game. So for the Jaguars, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
S-T-R-O.
Yeah. How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O.